Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. Jared here with Fanboys Forever, and today I'm bringing you a review, but it's not exactly an action figure review. Instead, it's a building block review, and we haven't done one of these in quite a while here on the channel, but I thought with the brand new Super Mario Bros. Theme that LEGO's doing for the 35th anniversary, this would be the perfect time to take a look at the theme, and if you guys like these, I would love to review the rest of the sets for you. First off, we're going to be looking at the Super Mario Adventures with Mario starter set. And this is the set where you actually get the interactive Mario figure and you build it with all the different little pieces that you can create your starter course. We'll also be having a look at Mario's house and Yoshi in this set. And we're also going to be having a look at the Monty Mole and Super Mushroom set. Now, there has been some controversy online. Some people were a little disappointed that this wasn't your traditional LEGO theme, where Mario would be a regular minifig and there would just be kind of diorama scenes that you would build. But me personally, I'm actually much more excited that LEGO decided to do something really different and really unique. Now, we're gonna see if my excitement's justified, because I've not opened these guys yet. So I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts before we start, but I'm really hoping that this is gonna be something special. So without further ado, let's build these guys. Alright, so what we're looking at right now is our starter course, and this is what you get. Let's talk about the Mario unit itself, and you'll figure out pretty quick why I call it a Mario unit. As you can see, it's all black right now, but on the back there's two buttons. We have a Bluetooth button that's to connect with the app, which is an integral part of this whole thing. You sort of do need the app for everything that this set entails, building directions even, but we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and power him on. He lights up, and everything here is kind of like a little LCD screen. Thankfully, I don't have any dead pixels or anything like that on the chest or on the eyes or mouth or anything, but he can do lots of neat little things on his own, independent of the set. Yes, the hat is removable. And if you guys have seen, there's already been announcements of lots of different costume sets and things. I've just lost this hat. So you're going to be able to really customize this guy over time. And the great part about this is you only have to buy one of these. So it's not like you have to buy different Mario variants. You just get different sets that have different things maybe that go with Mario or make him do different things. Let's get into what all this guy can do. Walk him a little bit more. And he gets a coin. It shows it on the chest. And the app keeps up with all that. We'll get into the app here in a minute. All right, the next thing is that he can jump. So for instance, we do a little. So you get the idea. He also has a little light at the bottom. And this light is what helps him. There's basically a camera inside of him, I suppose, that reads different colors. So say for instance, if he steps on green, you can see that his screen now is picking up that he's on a grass surface. If he steps on anything that's blue, he's on water. You can hear it makes kind of a watery noise, like he's swimming. If he steps on anything that's red, he gets hurt. Kind of has fire on the chest. And then he also uses this light to read these little codes. These aren't stickers, these are kind of pre-applied kind of tampagraphs that are on here already. And I'll just give you guys a close-up look at one of these. We'll have a look at the one on the cloud. So they just look like that, and you know, you have some others. And Mario has the ability to read these. So say for instance, if we put him on this thing, he can be spun around. You can also use this thing to pick up enemies. So say for instance, let's get Bowser Jr. here. His is on the back. And we had him hit this little lever here. It kind of jostles him off. And then in an ideal world, he would land shell up, then take Mario. And he's defeated. So for him, you have to jump on him, I think, 4 times. Different enemies have different power levels, require different jumps. Say, for instance, and you can take him out like that. Another instrumental way that he reads these little codes is when it comes to power blocks. Behind the Goomba over here, we actually have one of the little question mark power blocks we've all seen in a Mario game before. Jump on it, and then shake Mario, you see what you get. He got a mushroom power-up. Then he loses it. So that's kind of the way, if this thing senses that he's being jostled around too much, where he takes kind of a hard hit or falls off of something, that's how it knows that he loses power-ups. I love how this thing blinks, by the way, and he kind of like looks around. It's really cool. So you can see at the bottom of that pipe, there's one of those little codes. Then we take Mario, and we have him start there. And he starts a timer on his chest. It says you got 60 seconds. So you go through the course that you built. See what he gets. Oh, he gets a star. He's invincible, so take that, Goomba. Alright, right over here. And we finally get to this thing. See how long we can do that. And you scan him at the end, right under the flag, and it's the end of the stage. So he is pretty small. I would say that he is about 3 inches tall. And I'd say Owen's about a 4-inch tall figure. So yeah, I'd say Mario is right at 3, maybe slightly under 3. I really like his blocky look. I really love that Nintendo and Lego decided to do something different, something we hadn't seen. He's not just like a replica. You know, if you want a Mario action figure, there's all sorts of Mario figures out there. They're very easy to find. You won't have any difficulty finding one cheap and one that's actually pretty nice. But they decided to do something different, something totally unique, and I like it, I appreciate it, and I'm really glad they went this direction. This guy does take 2 AAA batteries. So the actual course itself, like I said, these pieces are completely modular. And there really isn't a pre-assembled like pattern that they want you to put them in. Under each piece, you kind of have this cross section. And as you can imagine, that just means that you can take a connector piece of either red, blue, or green, and we'll get into tan later and what that means, and you can just connect it to the bottom. So you can connect it all the way out here if you want to, or you can connect it on the edge. I like connecting on the edge to make the course as long as possible and kind of get more bang for my buck that way. You can change the whole layout of the course. Really, it's totally unlimited what you can do. The only sure things in any course is the starter code right here that's in the pipe, or the code that's on the finish line flag right here at the end of every classic Super Mario Brothers level. And so as long as you have these 2 pieces right here, anything else in between is basically your baby. You can take other Lego bricks, you can build these things up. So you could build a straight up vertical tower if you wanted to. Heck, if you didn't want there to be a pipe at the beginning of your level, you could always take this little piece out and you could put it somewhere else if you wanted to. There truly is a world of possibilities when it comes to what kinds of courses you could build. Everything that's here is something that is inside the Mario unit that it can just read. There's no technology out here, there's no electronics, nothing, just good old-fashioned Lego building. And I think that's the magic of this set. As long as you have a functioning Mario, it doesn't matter what you do with the rest of it, then it can be done, it can be achieved. And so with this thing, as long as you've got the batteries in, you can do that. And what's great is that we have an app that goes with it, and I'll show some pictures. These are some of my screenshots I've taken while using the app. I know that you could technically use this without the app. The app adds all sorts of cool features and things. But really, the app is not only the way that you fully experience this, but most of the building instructions are actually in the app. I didn't actually realize it. When I took the booklet out, I thought I would be getting building instructions. It just says Quick Start Guide. You get it? And it does show you how to put Mario together. But after that, it says, hey, download this app. And then after that, you kind of just have some basic instructions about how Mario functions and about what each of the ground types are. That's it. The rest of it's a commercial, shows you all the different sets and how you can link them together. So I sort of think we might be seeing the future of Lego right here. I would say that instructional booklets are probably a thing of the past, and that get ready to be building on a downloaded app. And I'll just be honest with you, I have a few screenshots to show you. I much preferred building from the app than from an instruction booklet. Now listen, I love the full color instruction booklets as much as any Lego collector. I love Lego. But the app made things so much simpler. I could rotate the image any way that I wanted to because it was a real-time 3D model. I could pinch it in to zoom in or pinch out to zoom out. I could look at it from any angle so that nothing is kind of obscured in any way by another block. You know what? I really hope that eventually they do transition to an app building experience. So I actually did enjoy that. Let's go over some of the things you can do with the app. Like I said, you can connect Mario just using the Bluetooth button on his back. Once you connect to Mario, you can actually see how many coins you've gotten. You can see all kinds of stats about your play. There's several sections from the main screen. You can see that main hub there actually shows you the sets you've bought so far, and it connects them as you buy them. As you can see, we only have the starter set right there until, of course, we add the others, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Click on that, it'll give you building instructions for all these different pieces. It doesn't really show you the way to arrange them all, but it shows you how to build everything individually. Then you can figure out how to arrange them all. We also have a cool little section where you can take pictures of your creations, and if you want to, you can actually upload those creations and give them a name and take a picture of it. And then there's a section where you can actually look at other people's creations and little things that they've done. There's another section on the app that allows you to participate in little challenges, like this one says to make a course with a chair in it. So your favorite chair, just put part of the course up on it and have it finish out on the bottom. So there are lots of fun little things you can do with the app. I would go over all of it, but I definitely wouldn't want to rob you of some of the little surprises and some of the joy that you can have with the app. So there's lots of fun little things you can do. So now that we've talked about the Adventures with Mario starter course, let's talk about the Super Mushroom and Monty Mole set. So this is just an expansion set. Mine actually came with the starter course in a bundle that I got from the Lego Shop at Home website. And let's talk about what you can do with the set. So first off, it's worth noting that you actually have a desert environment. So this is very different than what we've seen before. There is yellow flooring here. With the starter set, you don't get the yellow flooring. You just get water, lava, or grassland. So here we have actual desert. We also get a couple of totally unique power-ups. So we get the Super Mushroom right here. And anybody who's played a Mario game since the 80s will tell you exactly what this is. It makes Mario big. Then we also have a classic POW block right here. The POW blocks, of course, cause things to explode that are in Mario's way or blow other blocks up. We also get Monty Mole right over here. And here he is, very cool. These are all tampographic details that are already pre-applied onto the brick. These are not stickers, thank goodness. We have right here another tampographic applied that kind of tells the Mario unit what to do. I'm just going to put him back here in his hidey hole. And we'll close that up. Okay, so this is how it works. We have Mario already turned on right here. And we're going to show you what he does when we put him on the mushroom. Okay, he reads the top of that. Like I said, Mario is now, in your imagination, large Mario. So this is a really cool action feature. We just take Mario. Alright, and so once that falls over, you can see that there is another code up here. And we have Mario hit that a little bit harder. You can get some coins that way. And then you notice that Monty Mole has launched out. So from there, we can have him get some coins that way. Alright. And Mario has cleared the little mini course right here. Everything does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's just very fun to flip this thing, have that pop open, then press this the rest of the way, and send him flying out. It's really, really cool. I like this thing, and the best part is you can link it with all of your other courses you've created. Once you put all this stuff together, it gets really massive, really quick, starts to take up a lot of space, and I absolutely love it though. And the great part is that when you're done putting a course together, guess what? Just pop it apart. Your pieces will pretty much stay intact. You'll just have all the little connectors that you can kind of just take apart and go from there. Alright, next up we have Mario's house and Yoshi. You can see it right here, this expansion set. And we can see that there's several different things going on with the set. For one, let's get the basics out of the way. You get a Goomba with the set, and he has kind of a different expression as the normal than the normal one you get with the starter course. Here's the normal one you get with starter course, and here's the one that looks kind of agitated or surprised. Another thing that it comes with is, of course, Yoshi. Now, we know that Yoshi here is the main draw of the set, and just like Mario, he's not a minifig, but he is kind of a build. And I really love what they were able to do with this. It's simplistic, yet it kind of conveys everything you need, all the essentials for Yoshi. You have little red spikes here on the back. You have a suggestion of a tail. You have the shoes and the cheeks. Printing on everything. Of course, there's no stickers in any of the Lego Mario stuff, which I'm very thankful for. So it's all printed on. And the printing is pretty clean. The only thing that articulates is the arms, just like Mario. You know, something worth noting is I don't think Mario can rotate his hands like a normal minifig would be able to, and neither can Yoshi here. As you can see here, it's just a solid piece. Scale-wise, Yoshi is okay, but he's a little small. Now, you really can't, this isn't really going to happen when it comes to Mario riding Yoshi like he does in Super Mario Brothers World. Still cool, and they look good side by side, but yeah, I don't even think you could kind of make that work. So, and the next thing you can do with Yoshi is if you put him right here. Of course, he doesn't even have to be here for this to work, but he comes with this little tile right here. And all that happens is that you can take Mario, put him on this, and it's like he's greeting Yoshi, hello there, and then he gets some extra coins. So I think that's pretty cool. The next draw of the set is that you actually build Mario's house. And I really love this house build, really cool. I really like the smoke that's coming out of the chimney. They just use that cloud piece like they did in the starter set for decoration. There's all sorts of cool little details. Say, for instance, you can actually open the door. There's, of course, nothing really inside from that angle, but if we turn it around, you can see that there's a little bit of an interior, but really nothing much is going on. It's obvious, I'm sure, for anybody watching this, that these aren't really meant to be super detailed representations or like exact representations of what you see in the games. They're more like little brick-built diorama suggestions, like backgrounds. So it's not really meant to be, you know, exactly as you would see it. Now we can take Mario, and it has these little ledges on the sides. You can stomp, stomp, and you have a star block inside. So put Mario over it. Yeah. And it's just like you get invincibility in the game. Just like everything else in the set, it's printed, and there's a printing on both sides, and there's the cool little rainbow barcode on the top. And just like in the actual games, we have a little sign that says what direction to go. And over here, we have a mailbox for Mario's house. Neat little build here. It's very simplistic, but I really like it. Then we have a tree and the hammock that Mario can take a nap in. It actually gives you kind of a little place to do that. And what's even funnier is you have this thing, and you can rock him back and forth with it. I gotta say, it's pretty funny. All right, wake up. You're on the clock. Come on. So, how am I going to use this in my main course build? And the great thing about this is that, man, so many people are going to do so many different things with their courses and how they're going to have things set up. So at the end of the day, what is Lego Mario exactly? Well, from the Lego end of things, Lego has kind of been heading in a variation of this direction for several years now. If you look at like Lego Nexo Knights, they had the little scannable codes on the shields, very similar to what you're seeing right here. If you look at Lego Hidden Side, they're trying to do the augmented reality thing. And this is something that's a little different than anything they've tried before. Lego Mario is kind of inspired by some of the things they've tried, but it's also doing its own thing. There's plenty of interactivity here, but everything is more based around the little Mario unit and a little less an app. The app is really cool, and you do need the app if you want to build the sets. It has all the instructions. I'm sure you can find some other version online, I guess, for buildable instructions. But yeah, everything does kind of revolve around the little Mario unit. And something interesting is as soon as I started the app and connected Mario to it with Bluetooth, which was really easy, it wanted me to update the Mario unit. So we know that functionality can be added into that unit over time. In other words, what that tells me is they can put anything on those little screens in the eyes and mouth and in the chest with those updates. So you're going to have something here by getting this Mario unit with the starter kit that potentially you could be looking at several years of them adding sets, new releases and expansions. And there's other sets too that I didn't even talk about here. They're out on the market that I've not gotten yet. Truth be told, I wanted to dip my toe in the waters and kind of see how I feel about it. And, you know, before we get to my final thoughts, let's talk about the things that maybe don't work as well. My number one concern about the sets is the app-based building experience kind of being a limiting factor for some kids. You know, if you're an adult, chances are you have some kind of access to some kind of smart technology. Probably isn't an issue for you. I do worry that there will be some kids that will buy the sets and it'll be like, okay, now what do I do? And that booklet's not going to be very helpful because kids and their parents are used to not having to necessarily have anything like that to build the sets. Even Lego Hidden Side, which is, you know, a completely augmented reality kind of thing. They had everything you needed in the instruction booklet, told you how to build it and all that stuff. So because this booklet is really just kind of a glorified advertisement, it might be limiting to some of those kids. But on the flip side of that, if you're an adult collector like me, you have easy access to all of that, then I would much rather use the app to build. And I know that that's kind of the direction everything is headed in. So I don't know, you know, it's iffy. It's a slippery slope either way you go. So yeah, that's kind of a concern to me. Another thing that I think adult collectors should be aware of, and it's very obvious when I put these together. These aren't, you know, super detailed, ultra, you know, representations of exactly what you see in the games. I think they're great little representations of it, and I love the style that they're choosing because they're focusing less on, you know, elaborate brick counts and, you know, you buying a $50 set for a tiny little stretch. Instead, it's focusing more on length here. You know, how big of a course can you get? Almost like you're building a racetrack or a train track. So I like that, but you know, they're not the most detailed representations of this stuff you can imagine. I would almost call this kind of like an exaggerated kind of chibi version of what you would see in the games. Or something else that may be an issue is you've got, you know, minifig fans, and you know, this obviously is not the minifig that a lot of people were hoping for when they heard that there was going to be a Mario and Lego announcement. And I'm telling you though, the Connects people who had the Nintendo license for years, you know, they did all that stuff. They did standard kind of building sets, and they did minifigs and all that. And you know what? Nobody really cared. At least nobody that I knew anyway. There might be somebody out there that, you know, really loved those sets, and that's great. But I'm telling you right now that it didn't seem to light the world on fire. And this is actually something, in my opinion, to talk about. This is something that is an attention getter. This is something that is a new experience. And you know what? I really do think that that's worth something. I think that that's valuable. So with each one of these complaints that I have, there is an element of, you know what though? You know, maybe this is for the best. So what are my final thoughts on it? As an adult collector, I absolutely love it. It really tickles me because unlike a lot of those other attempts that Lego had at doing this kind of thing, this one actually intrigues me because I want to rearrange the course. Like I want to put it in different combinations, and it feels infinite to me. And I do want to keep messing around with it and changing the layouts and taking Mario and seeing what I can do with him on all these different courses. It is a really funny bridge between like a Mario Maker kind of experience, like the game where you make the Mario levels, and the Lego building experience, which, you know what? You guys nailed it. That's probably exactly what they wanted to do, and I think that is what they did. What do I think will wear thin about it for me? I think, the app itself and having Mario, like it keeps track how many coins he gets and upload your creations and all that. I'm not sure that's like a thing for me necessarily. I like the app, and it's really cool to load your sets in there so that you can keep expanding like your world. But for me, it's not like something I'm going to be crazy about and like, oh, how many coins can I get? That's not really what it's about for me. To me, it's more about rearranging courses. Now, would I be as interested in rearranging the courses if this unit, though, didn't exist and couldn't pick up all that stuff? You know what? I wouldn't be. I don't know what it is, but the idea that this can interact with him and make the noises and pick up the different kinds of terrains he's on, like, he knows he's on the desert, right now because he's on yellow. There's something about that to me that makes the course design feel more rewarding, that I can actually, knock the bad guys over and take, a Goomba and actually get coins, out of him. That's to me, it pluses it up to where I'm more encouraged to rearrange the sets than I would have been without it. So although I won't use probably the app as much, I'll definitely be using the unit and, starting them and getting the 60 seconds and kind of running through my course just because it's fun, because why not? Now, if I'm a full-grown man and I have this much fun with it, though, I can honestly tell you that I think kids would be like twice as excited as I would be for this thing. And you know what? Mission accomplished. I think that's exactly what they were hoping for. I think a kid would absolutely go crazy over this stuff. I don't think the bar of entry is too high when it comes to price. I think the Adventures with Mario starter course is, I think, $60. But here's the thing, guys. I've been to several retail locations. I had this pre-ordered from the Lego website, but I've been to several retail locations. The starter course is selling, I mean, big time. You can hardly find, I didn't see a one at actual retail at the several locations I visited. So I think this is going to be hot for a few months. And I have no idea how the current state of the world will affect like distribution. Hopefully they produced a ton of these units and it won't be very hard to get. But I'm telling you, this thing right here, the actual starter set that comes with Mario and comes with your basic course stuff, that is flying off the shelves. So I do recommend that if you are interested, don't delay, just go ahead and grab it. The other stuff is hanging on a little bit more, even though it's selling very well. I know that there's a blind bag series. Every single one of the blind bags were gone at all the locations I visited. I got an empty display box that they came in. That's it. They didn't have a single one of those blind bags left. Most of the sets were selling really well. People seem to like the Yoshi add-on. Of course, that was me. That was the one that I said, okay, well, I've got to have that one. The other ones, there's several others that have some of the villains in it and things. They're not probably selling as quickly, but there is the giant Bowser Castle set, and I'm telling you, I have had so much fun with this that is something that I really do want to get, and I thought there would be no way, but it turns out that this is so addictive to build your courses and rearrange them in all sorts of cool ways that I think it's something I'm looking into. It makes me want to buy a table that is specifically for this theme that I can just continually rearrange these courses on. And I know that's I keep messing with this guy. I know that's a funny thing to say. And so, just being able to do that, just throwing them around. And I also have to say that I know I've read in some articles that like Nintendo dropped this guy like 1,000 times and Lego dropped him 1,000 times, and he's really tough, and by golly, he is. I don't want to purposely try to destroy this guy or anything. I'm pretty confident you could throw this guy around and he would be all right. Like this is the old school kind of feel plastic, almost like what some of those old like Tinker Toys, play school kind of stuff is made out of. That's the kind of durability we're talking about. And that combined with the modular nature of the set, that you can just take it apart and it stores away really easily, get it back out, rearrange it. There's no set arrangement that is correct, that's incorrect. It is whatever you want it to be. There is no set arrangement. You just put it anywhere. You can connect it with anything. You can do whatever you want. So with that in mind, suddenly, the world is your oyster when it comes to just throwing this stuff anywhere. I could see people, if you don't like that there's so much blank negative space here, you can buy the big like green and blue and red plates, expand it out. And this, because of the exact perpendicular nature of everything, how it intersects and it's all parallel with each other, it would plug right into one of those big base plates. And suddenly, you would have a floor. You could fill it in. It would be like a big, fully realized Mario set just by connecting it on top of those plates. But I really, really do think that this is something special. I could be totally wrong. This could be a huge flop. But I'm telling you, I think we might be looking at the next big thing for Lego. I think this is going to be kind of a big deal. I hesitate to say how much of a big deal, but you know what? I really think it might be a pretty big deal. I could be wrong, but now I sort of really need a Link that looks like this. I'll take a Samus from Metroid that looks like this. Donkey Kong. I mean, you name it. I would absolutely love it if they just kept expanding this, kept going in new directions with the Nintendo license. And you know what? For older fans, the NES system, the buildable system, that is, it's incredible. It's exactly what older fans like me have always wanted. So do I suggest you go out and spend your hard-earned money on this? You know what? Absolutely. And if you have kids, I suggest it twice as much, all right? Because they will flip over this. You're going to find so much enjoyment here. None of those irritating stickers. None of the builds are all that complicated. This is the perfect bridge between the father and the kids when it comes to the kind of Lego set that they want to put together. Can't recommend it enough. Highly suggest it. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this little look. I'm not even sure you'd call it a review. It's more of an experience on the Mario Lego sets. If you've liked the content today, please like and comment below. Tell me what you would like to see Lego do next with a Nintendo license. And of course, subscribe if you would like to see more videos just like this. It's been a pleasure, and as always, God bless you and be careful out there. Till next time, we'll see you on Fanboys Forever. I'll turn Mario back on here. It's a little disconcerting to see him like this, right? Oh, there's your creepypasta inspiration. Oh, there we go. Okay.